Hey, welcome. In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how you can set the content attribute to content editable and set it to be true. So that means that the user can come in and click on the content and update it. And that's not going to be updating the code, of course. It's just going to be updating the visual representation of the content. So let's create a list and creating an unordered list. So if we've got a bunch of items, so one, another list item, 2. So we've got 3 list items here. We refresh the page, we've got lists, and we want the user to be able to update the instance, the current instance of the code that's being presented on the page. So we can update and add a tag. So the tag is content editable, and if you set it to true, what that means is that now when we refresh, the user gets an option to update the content that's there. So that's going to only update it within the current instance. So we've updated it to be 4, but that doesn't mean that when we refresh it, it's just going to go back to 2. So that gives the user an option to update some content. I'm going to make the browser window slightly bigger so that it's a little bit easier to see. And I'll reopen the code inspector from the developer tools. And let's also go back and add the content editable as an attribute to the div. And refresh. So now whichever piece of content I select, now I'm able to type into that content. So you can use this if you are using JavaScript to get the contents of that element. So if the user can change it, so it effectively acts kind of like an input field where you can update some of the content that's being presented there. So that's an excellent option if you want to be able to allow the user to make updates of the content.